It's me again. Okay, a new part that I've been showing a couple of pictures of on Facebook, and that is this part that I finally received. So this is the new aluminum C-hub for the cars that I have, the different chassis that I have. So at the moment, of course, the Trike 1.0 and 1.1 both can fit it. Sorry about that. Of course, the Formula Pen can fit it over there, and then the parts that I'm gonna have to do an F1 chassis with the base that I have for the classic car is going to be using as well those C-hubs. So let me show you what they are and why they are the way they are. So my original C-hubs were those 3D printed ABS C-hubs that I've been manufacturing by myself with an ABS 3D printer. They work extremely well. The breakage is really similar to breakage that I've had with plastic pieces. However, I think people just don't like those. Understandably, they don't trust the 3D printed parts, and so I had thought while waiting for the aluminum parts that I would go with the white SLA, which is still somewhat of a print, but it's just a completely different process. So but I'm just worried with the SLA of the I have zero experience testing those on this scale. I have on the smaller scale, on the 1/28th, but on such a part that requires still a little bit of flex, I don't know. So I'm going to test those. In any case, I am not going to be putting those on the cars anymore that I'm going to be putting those. They're still going to be available, of course, because those are available on my store and those are available on my Shapeways store. So you can get them printed on the Shapeways store. All the parts for the Trike are available on the Shapeways store. And so here you go. The aluminum parts is symmetrical. So I try to use the same philosophy that I've had for the aluminum part of my pod. I want to have the smallest amount of manufactured parts that I can reuse, and so left and right are the same story in the front. So this is the part that mounts, of course, onto the chassis with two screws over there, M3 screws. You have some markers here for a set angle. It's more of a visual cue than anything, although there is a little bit of a groove over there in order to feel along the marks over there. And so you just screw it onto there. These have all the mounting. Can you focus on this little beautiful part of aluminum, please? Oh yeah, look at that. Alright, so as you can see, this is where all the threads are. This one is completely free of threads, and so this screws into these parts, and so you can choose what kind of caster you want to have with the C-hub. The camber is fixed, and then you put inside the upright with the pins that I have. So those are the quick release like all my other cars. So it's an axle with a pin on the top. So this is allows you to very quickly remove the axle in order to change the spring, change the setup in the front. And so once mounted on the car, you still, of course, are able to use all the different height adapters that I have for the Trike or the Pan car. And the only difference is that you're not using the third hole anymore. And that's it. And first of all, I think it looks really neat and cool, and it makes the whole front just looks tidier and neater. And on the breakage point, I think now it's the chassis that's going to break. And those, even though they are super tight in there, they are designed that if you have a really violent shock in the front, this is going to probably turn around. You would lose your angle unless you use a longer screw and then use an island locking nuts at the back, which I don't advise, but I think everything has to be tried. This is a brand new product, so going to have to do some testing. I have to say, for the moment, I have never ever broken a single one of those. I have broken the steering from Team Saxo. I have broken others from RJ Speed, but I've never broken one of those. I did break one or two of those on my original pan car, so those are of course absolutely not unbreakable, but what I mean is that it was not a weak point of the car at either on the pan car or on the trike, so I'm not really worried about this having only two mounting point being a problem. It's really solid. Plus, once again, you can go with a locking nuts on the top and using taller screws. But everything is compatible with the original systems of the car. I think it's going to look pretty neat inside the front wheel of the F1 car as well. This is going to take a little while because I'm going to focus now on updating the trike, putting the FRP pan car version for sale on the store, as well as the classic car, and then the new 1/28 pan chassis is going to come fairly soon, I think. So this is it for my new aluminium C-hub, which I'm really happy about. I really love designing those parts and trying to get them manufactured for just as inexpensive as possible. This is the other reason why as well I have no finish on any of the aluminium parts. Now, love it or hate it, I personally really like it. So it is smoothed out, but it is as machines. There is no polishing on it, there is no anodizing, there is no bevels around the corners. I just try to get the parts because I do very small series for everything. So I have to keep the cost as low as possible, and the first time I've received the aluminium pods as machines, I just love the look of it. That's an aesthetic that I really like. So all the aluminiums are as machines, even though they are smooth and so on. They look like out of the forge, so that's the look I'm going for. I know it's not for everyone, but I'm really proud of those little guys over there, so I think these are going to be a great asset to bring that chassis as well as the trike to a whole new level for performance, a little bit of adjustability, because now you can play with the caster as well, which you couldn't do before. Before you would have fixed 2 degrees caster on all of the cars. So I know I say all the time I don't like adjustability, but the design process for these, I'm doing everything from 5mm plates of aluminium, so it had to be done in 2 pieces, so that was a good thing to do it this way. So it's mounted in, but I had the choice to either lock it in one single place or do that, which is giving a little bit more options. So that's what I went with. And so here you go. This is the update for my new aluminium upright. I hope you guys like it. They're going to be available on the store before the end of the week as well. And yeah, get them for your own project as well. I'm probably going to give the pins as well. The pins are going to be available on the store. At the moment they only exist as a quick release system for that. I'm gonna give them put them on the store as an entry by itself. Probably is going to be in the hardware section of the store, as well as the spare parts for the trike and the pan car. Alright, so hope you get a little bit of inspiration by this new product, and I'll see you soon with more updates. See you everyone, bye bye.